Alright, so there was no SVP last night.
As we wrap up your Sunday sports day with Amita Smith, I'm Michael Leeds. And look, I don't know what we should call the Cowboys right now.
Winless at home, probably.
Ooh, accurate.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to throw it in there. Let's take a look at the highlights, or maybe lowlights if you're a Cowboys fan from this game. Cowboys hosting the Lions, first quarter, Lions down 3.
So yeah, there's no SVP, so we just gonna do what we can do, and then we just gonna get the first take, alright? We'll probably do more first take than highlights. I mean, for the most part, we've seen the highlights, right? We've seen it. For the most part, we've seen it. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my camera. Why this shit so dark? What the fuck?
Interception for Dallas. CeeDee Lamb not loving it. Second quarter, Lions up 10-3. And we got some trickery here. Jared Goff, David Montgomery.
Yeah, I see that. This is about when I turned it off. Fuck.
Green takes it in the end zone for the touchdown, just like the Lions.
Why the highlights always start with the Cowboys?
20-3. Dak Prescott's pass for Cavante Turpin is incomplete.
These niggas weren't even the late night game. This came on at 10 p.m. The late night game came on at 5. It was over by the time this came. It was over for at least an hour or two by the time this came on. And they still ain't even start with that game. They be dick riding the shit. The Cowboys, man, Cowboys must be lit. When you talk about the Cowboys, and views must go up. I guess that's
wide open. Jameson Williams.
Cowboys must be like LaMelo and Lonzo Ball back in the day. You put LaMelo, Lonzo Ball back in your shit back in the day, boy, that bitch nuclear. Nuclear. That's kind of how the Lakers are, Warriors.
Scary moment right here.
Ooh.
Hutchinson suffered a significant leg injury.
Ooh.
Everyone emotional, everyone looking on to see if he's okay. Hutchinson underwent immediate surgery at a Dallas area hospital for a broken tibia. Everyone making sure that he's okay there on the field as he gets carted off. Fourth quarter, Cowboys.
Damn, he's one of the best players. One of my favorite, probably my favorite player on the team. That sucks. Damn. Prayers for AJ, man. Prayers for AJ. He was on a monster season. Wasn't he leading the league in sacks? She probably doesn't know that because she's a casual. But yeah, he was leading the fucking league in sacks, man. What the fuck?
Amon-Ra St. Brown in the end zone. Lions go on to win it 47-9. Jerry Jones on their worst home loss since he bought the team.
Anytime you get beat, you create question marks. When you get beat like this, you create more question marks. And certainly there's a lot of question marks there. We just got a bunch of them right now, a lot more than I would have hoped or thought. This was a stunner, as well as just a...
Bro, Jerry has got to stop talking.
Hit the panic button. I get to have the ball in my hands. I get to lead this offense. I get to lead this team. Hard for me to say that, just on the way that they came out and played hard on us. And every phase, obviously you never prepare for that or think that can happen the way that it did today. Now dropping 3 at home, place that we've been great at. Yeah.
All right, let's get some perspective from Uncle Herm now.
No, I'm going to skip this part and go to the next. Can we get to the next highlights?
To wrap up your Sunday night, Daniel Jones, 1-13.
This nigga Joe Burrow ran for a touchdown. All I needed was Joe Burrow to get 2 touchdowns. I would have made $900. That I didn't even need, but still, it would have been nice, you know, to make $900.
Joe Burrow came into week 6.
And Joe Burrow fucking, oh my God, he makes me so angry. I'm actually so angry.
For this 47-yard touchdown run, the longest by Bengals quarterback in franchise history, and Cincinnati's up 7-0.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Jones,
you couldn't have threw that in the end zone, you pussy bitch. God damn, man. Fuck!
Decent return.
Fuck!
To get it up past the 25. So it was a 7-0 Bengals lead at the half, third quarter. Giants going for it on 4th and 2 from their own 38. They do not convert.
Why do y'all have 7 points in the third quarter?
Zach Moss, he loses it. So the Giants get it right back. But could they take advantage? So the next possession, another 4th down. They go for it 4th and 1, this time on the opposite 35, and Tyrone Tracy gets the 1st down. The drive stays alive. So now 1st and goal, Tracy punches it in. That ties the game.
This game is so fucking weak.
They both like, yeah, we're going to.
I didn't even watch this shit. I was at the Dodgers. I was watching the Dodgers smash the fucking Mets. Dodgers going to the World Series. Dodgers versus Yankees in the World Series. Let me see it. Let me have it. I need it. Gotta have it.
The drive continues. Now it's 5 minutes in. Maybe that's a little too far, so we're going to try to tie the game with Greg Joseph from 47 yards away, but it is wide left. So it stays.
That nigga was missing field goals all night. I heard he missed 2 of them bitches.
Giants still with a chance. Jones looking for Slayton, but it's broken up by DJ Turner the second. Back come the Bengals. Off that turnover, Chase Brown. He fumbles it, but he goes out of bounds. So
this is like, this is honestly too weak for me. This is fucking pissing me off.
That fumble because I just did this.
So he didn't throw for one single touch. Joe Burrow, I'm about to fucking.
Of the NL.
Might as well do it real quick.
Day out there in LA. Bottom of the first, no.
It wasn't too bad out there. It wasn't too bad. I got the same shirt on that I had on last night.
Next,
because I get no bitch.
Walks Freddie Freeman. Very next one, Senga.
I usually be talking shit about Max Muncy, fat ass.
For the Dodgers.
But you know what? His big ass came through.
Muncy rips a liner to
let's fucking go, Max.
Betts and Freeman. Freeman obviously banged up as he reaches Betts right there. Dodgers take the lead 2-0. Second inning. Shohei Ohtani facing Senga with a man.
Shohei.
One out. Ohtani.
Do what you do, Shohei.
Gets past a diving Pete Alonso at first.
Sterling Marte averaging 180. He needs to step up for the Mets.
To 3-0.
And yeah, Kodai Senga just had a really bad game. I doubt he plays bad in the next one if it goes that far.
Sends this one deep right.
Almost homered that bitch.
That one goes off the wall. Tommy Edmonds scores from first. Ohtani almost sends that one out, but just misses it. Dodgers go up 5-0. Freeman now up. Freeman hits a liner.
Niggas be trying to call me a casual baseball fan all the time on Instagram. Like, nigga, I'm not a casual.
Nothing to celebrate.
I probably know more about baseball.
They're feeling good out there in LA. 6th inning. Flaherty pitching for LA. Runner on first, no outs. Jose Iglesias.
I could probably name every single. I could probably name at least 6 or 7 players on every single fucking team.
In between second and third,
at least 6 or 7.
Out. Just how the night is going for the New York Mets. A costly mistake. Flaherty facing Francisco Alvarez, and Alvarez.
That's the whole reason I bought that baseball game, was so that I could learn everybody. And I learned everybody. And I mastered that game as well. Fuck you talk about?
Flaherty.
That's how I know the Mets don't stand a fucking chance against us. Fuck you talk about? They don't got enough. Fuck, bring the Dodgers on. Fuck. Bring the Yankees on. If the fucking Yankees can make it past the Cleveland's not really that good to me. I'm not really like, I don't know. They're a good contact team. Yankees should be able to beat them. Aaron Judge got to step up though. He played ass in the last series, but they got away with it because Kansas City sucks.
LA with 2 outs trying to close this one out. Ben Casparia.
Sterling Marte, you fucking suck, boy.
Los Angeles takes game 1. They win it 9-0.
That's easy work. I got out of there by the 8th inning. I was out of there.
Walking off and down, but usually I'm able to keep it together no matter what, even if it's the end of an outing. But I kind of had a feeling it was towards the end of the line, and yeah, it just it's hard not to smile there. And then at least here, like they asked me to come back out, so I told my mom I was going to come out and just give her a hug, kind of the way we have been able to, looking back on high school or a couple other starts when I get the opportunity, just instead of waiting to meet her underneath or whatnot, if I can just.
He pitched a hell of a fucking game.
Tell her thanks for being there.
He's not even really that good of a pitcher, but shout out to him.
Sweet moment between those two. The Dodgers have pitched 33 consecutive innings without allowing a run, tying the 1966 Orioles.
We just got. I don't know what happened to the Padres in them last 2 games, so this stat doesn't really mean shit.
7th year in the league, Lamar Jackson is real close to transitioning from big bro to Unc status with the newest generation of NFL quarterbacks. Players such as Jaden Daniels, either consciously or subconsciously, finding inspiration and motivation from one of the most electric dual threat.
Bro, I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas say. I'm not fucking Unk.
Numbers that really matter to him.
What the fuck?
And losses.
And neither is Lamar.
Definitely a subscriber to that.
How the bro? I'ma slap the shit out of one of you. This nigga's Unk. This nigga is Unk.
Uncle Lamar.
I am not Unk. I don't even have a fucking kid. I'm a fucking thought. I'm probably a bigger thought than you. I've been a thought. Like what a niggas what up a thought call me thought. Refer to me by my pronoun. Thought whore. Fuck.
Since 1970.
Fuck y'all niggas talking about. I wanted Jaden McDaniels to win this on the upset. I would have turned $170. I had Jaden McDaniels, Cowboys, Chargers,
all the way down inside the 20,
and the Bengals.
Daniels.
And the Bengals won, the Chargers won. The Cowboys fucking suck dick. And the Redskins almost won.
At 10, right before the half. Lamar looking for Mark Andrews, his first touchdown.
But the team is just better, and they ran home. It's a GG.
History. Baltimore is up 17-10 at the break.
It's a goo-goo.
Third quarter.
Fuck.
It's 20-13 now.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I still do really want to make a
and somehow Andrews is
NBA
gain of 38.
My league or my GM league, whatever the fuck, and do it in the fantasy draft. The only problem is Call of Duty comes out in 2 weeks.
His second team.
And I know once Call of Duty comes out, I'm not gonna be on that shit.
13.
But I do kind of want to do a draft and do that shit. Like I still be hopping on 2K every now and then. I be having fun with that shit, but I be playing it by myself. Like I think doing the league we lit.
For 269 yards.
I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. That was a crazy catch on 4th down. That was fucking nuts. I was screaming when J.D. Daniels did that shit, no doubt.
Looking to put the game away.
But there was no stopping Derrick Henry.
132 on the ground for Henry. Third 100-yard game of the season.
He's unstoppable.
3rd and 1.
Every time he gets 100, they win.
No one like that though on the side.
That wasn't that bad.
Lamar. 20 of 26, 323 passing yards, 40 yards rushing.
But if it was Mahomes, everybody would call it back.
0-2 start.
Chargers taking on the Broncos, and before the start of the game, Jim Harbaugh headed to the tent with an apparent illness. More on that in a second. First drive of the game, though, Bo Nix throws a deep one down the middle of Marvin Mims Jr., but it's tipped, and Elijah Molden is there for the pick. He sees all green. Chargers would end up kicking a field goal on the drive, leading to a 3-0. But here's more on John Harbaugh finding out about his brother's health.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I gotta take Coach Zed. He said, come up.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I'm sorry. So just to let you know, Jim Harbaugh just went into the medical tent at his game. So I want to get John to let him be able to make a call, find out what's going on. So I apologize about that.
A bit of a scary situation there, but just about 15 minutes later, Jim Harbaugh back on the sideline. And we got more football. 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Justin Herbert passes deep to the rookie out of Troy, Kimani.
What, they thought that old nigga was about to die or something? What the fuck going on?
Chargers with a big 10-0 lead.
Old nigga passed out in that heat.
Herbert.
The elevation probably. Elevation was kicking his ass. That elevation be brutal, boy.
23-16. Here's Jim Harbaugh on his health and the win.
Had a couple of abrasions. One in 1999 and one in 2012. And I always remember the one in 2012 because it was during the Monday night game. I knew I was in it during the game. And,
he's out of breath.
After the game, got checked out and ended up having an ablation for that one because it didn't go back into rhythm. But 2-0 with arrhythmias.
There's only one Jim Harbaugh.
Only one.
What the fuck?
Raiders, Pittsburgh.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. So it's hard for me to laugh at that because I don't even know what the fuck he's saying. I don't know what an arrhythmia is. That nigga said ablation. I thought he was talking about a little black Asian kid. I'm like, what is he? He's got 2 black Asian kids? I'm like, fuck is this guy talking about?
Go for it.
Hell no. That nigga said ablation. 2 blations.
It's 12-7 at the half.
I'm fucking dead.
22-7, Pittsburgh leads it. Amir Abdullah tries to fight into the end zone, and guess what? Another fumble. Watt with another big defensive play. The Raiders 3 turnovers for the second.
Is Devontae Adams still playing?
Antonio Pierce not liking it. Mike Tomlin.
Or is he not playing?
At the other end.
Getting smashed by the Steelers at home.
Rushing touchdown of the game, 5th of the season. Pittsburgh's largest
is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I know they like Antonio Pierce because he did a little whatever last season, got a little hot, but that nigga, I'm not sure.
His team isn't as good as he thought, and it's certainly not in the same class right now as the best teams in the NFL. Sunday's 38-point loss to the Lions marked their worst home loss since Jones bought the team in 1989.
This was very concerning, and it was very humbling, and it was very, I felt bad because of all of our great fans, and especially the ones in this stadium, and certainly the ones that are all about the Cowboys. So we've got a lot of work to do. This was a shocker.
The season will end in 6 weeks. I will say that. This bye week, we got to use it to be better. We got a lot across the halls, a lot of meetings, a lot of things we got to clean up. And when we come back, we're going to be ready to work. A loss is a loss. Obviously, at home, it's terrible. And us not scoring and them almost putting up 50 is even worse. You know what I'm saying? So
no, they put up 50.
Level, we got time to regroup.
Ain't no almost about it. They gave you niggas 50. Y'all had 10 and they had 50. It was 50 to 10. Hey, this nigga got a lot for the game, man. ESPN, go ahead and give him his bread, man. This nigga love the game, man. He love the game. He love the game.
I didn't know that. Did you know that? Did you know that?
He love the game, for real. He love the game. This guy knows ball.
Okay, so
he knows ball.
Going on, okay? Then we got.
He knows ball.
5 turnovers for the Cowboys, 0 for the Detroit Lions. Right, 184 yards rushing for the Detroit Lions, 53 for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, I got some other stuff for you. Rushing offense dead last. Yards per rush dead last. Red zone offense 30th. Total defense 24th. Rushing defense 25th. Scoring defense 30th. Red zone 30th. I mean, damn. There is nothing that they are doing that is right. So you can't stop the run. You can't run. You can't stop the pass. You can't pass. You can't block. Okay? And you can't stop people from blocking you. You know who should be the person, Shay, that should be celebrating today, that should be the happiest man. He should be happier than a pig in mud. That's Derrick Henry. Because I know that he's running roughshod in Baltimore, right? He wanted to be in Dallas. Guess what? Had he gone to Dallas, it might have hurt his stock. They can't block for him. They can't block for him. We got Damian Woody, a retired player, 2-time Super Bowl champion, a Pro Bowler on national television, calling them soft. We got Dan Orlovsky calling them soft. We got Shannon Sharp in Vegas, damn near with laryngitis, whispering, they soft. We got Shay sitting right here next to us, soft. Molly is home chilling, talking about damn, they soft. I mean, everywhere you look like
he's in his bag. Okay, so he's in his fucking bag right now. He's in his bag. He's floating right now. You're watching a man levitating in midair right now. He's in his bag.
You would have the decency.
He's in his bag right now.
Show up and act like it was a football game. And what do they give us instead? Not only do they give us a stinker, they give us another weak press conference with your $60 million quarterback looking fly, by the way. Looking fly, looking stealth, looking in shape. You know, got the nice haircut, the nice brown shirt on. Looking, Dak Prescott, Dak is the man. Dak is the man. Except for when it's time to play football. And then after that, you understand? What's kickoff arrives?
Oh my goodness.
Particularly in Dallas. Or should I say Arlington, Texas? Should I say the $1 billion playpen? Should I say Jerry World? Whatever works for you. When it's time to play some ball, can't find them. There's an APB out on them. The Dallas Cowboys are an absolute mess. They are a walking atrocity. And in the end, what happened yesterday might be the last ray of hope for them. Because when you stink that bad, that flagrantly, that might be the message that says, we got to do something about this. We can't do it this season. Your season is done. Can't do it this season. But there's hope for the future after all, because I'm the birthday boy. I'm going to give him a ray of hope. There's hope for the future because you stink. And when you stink that bad, something has to be done.
Listen, here's the good news. Everyone wanted the Cowboys to play in the regular season the way they played in the postseason, or played in the postseason like they played in the regular season. Now it's just bad all the way across. It doesn't matter if the regular season or the postseason.
They're not getting to the postseason.
What did the Cowboys think was going to happen? You have teams out there like the Lions that went and acquired all of these players in the offseason to make their team better. What did the Cowboys do? They ran it back with the same squad, paid their wide receiver, and paid their quarterback. And so now we're in this predicament, Shannon Sharp. What did we think was going to happen?
Well, this is what's going to happen because they're not.
Well, we thought the offensive line was better than this.
Need to be violent. That's offensive and defensive line.
We thought the defensive line was better than this.
Now
we got niggas that are quote unquote highest ranked in their positions. Why are they playing so bad? If y'all really want to talk about it.
This defense,
why is Zach Martin playing so bad? Why is the other left tackle Terrence Hill or whatever his name is? Why? Well, you know what I'm saying? Why is Micah playing? Why are them niggas playing so bad?
They don't have.
That's the real issue. Dexter Lawrence, like, why? That's the real issue.
D.O. Stephen A., if you watched this game yesterday, there were some holes in which Montgomery and Gibbs were running through. I tweeted I could have got 7 yards. My old ass with 2 replaced hips, I could have got 2 to 3. For real talk. At 56 with 2 replaced hips, I could have got 3 yards behind that Detroit offensive line. When you look at Sewell, you look at Glasnow, you look at Decker, you look at Zeitler, they are moving people. They're moving men against their will. I don't know if the Cowboys had the will or not, because it didn't look like they had the stomach. It looked like a lot of guys started to turn it down late in that ball game. Guys, this is who the Cowboys are. And if you look at them when they play good offensive teams, this is what it looked like. Go back to the playoff game against the Packers. Look at it against the Saints. And the Saints are in a free fall. And they put up 40-plus points on them. The Cowboys are in trouble. Jerry didn't want to admit it. At first, when they got blown out by the Saints, that's an aberration. And then the Ravens go in there and run for 300. That was an aberration. Everything has been an aberration. When you can't, this many coincidences.
This might be the best one I rolled.
Coincidence. You are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, it's not a singular act. It is a habit. They have a habit of getting their butts kicked when they play good teams at home.
And how about the fact that Dak Prescott can't stop the bleeding? How about the fact that it's
that's a good tip.
Turnover in the red zone. How about the fact that you know what the $60 million man, you understand the $240 million man, the man that's got 2 playoff victories in 8 years. Okay, this dude, the best.
Stephen A. love counting Dak Prescott pockets as he try and get to 100 mil.
Because he never says the wrong things. Okay, he always says the right thing. He don't do the right things on the
Stop hating on that nigga, Stephen A.
He says the right things.
That'd be like me always saying how much money when them other than Kai or Speed or some shit. Nigga, if you don't stop saying how much money that guy, you know we got 250, nigga. That's hate. Stop hating. Nigga, you rich too, Stephen A. Stephen A. Stop acting like you broke, man. Fuck, ain't you making 13 a year, nigga? Stop. Please, stop. I want you to get your money, I do. But don't sit here and act like you broke, niggas, please.
In 12 games, 3 years in a row, you were kidding yourself. There's not a single thing on this football team that they do well.
All right, let's move on. I'm going to go get some Gatorade.
There's not a single person.
I'm going to get some Gatorade, and then we're going to move on. Because I'm tired of this.
CeeDee Lamb has had more.
We're going around in circles. We're just literally talking about nothing just because they're the Cowboys. Like,
but no one on this team stands out. And for everyone who thinks that Micah coming back and DeMarcus Lawrence coming back, who are 2 great players, and Bland coming back is going to rescue them, it's not. It's not. They play San Francisco next week. And then after that, they have the Falcons, who are sitting at 4-2 and scored 45 yesterday. There is not a ray of hope right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so they play San Francisco next. They're actually on a bye week, and so this is the next question. Does Mike McCarthy keep his job?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes, he does. He keeps his job because Jerry Jones is going to be highly reluctant to make an in-season change. It's not something he's prone to do. I'm not saying he hasn't done it before, but you know what? More often than not, he holds on to the quarterback. So listen, Jason Garrett had a job for years. He had no business keeping his job as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys for as long as he did. But Jerry Jones kept him there. Even though you ultimately replaced Wade Phillips with him, remember, he was reluctant to make the change with Wade Phillips. Prior to that, Mike McCarthy, you know that a guy like Bill Belichick is out there. You know that a guy that's a six-time champion as a head coach, a two-time champion as a coordinator. He's out there. He's a leader of men, and more importantly, he don't want the camera shake like Jerry Jones does. Would have been the perfect compliment in terms of instilling a level of discipline and finding ways to work around what you're deficient in and what have you. But in the end, you didn't want to do that. So now you look at Mike McCarthy, you're making this gesture. This is the guy. This is the right man for the job. And clearly he's not. Now, I'm not going to blame Mike McCarthy but so much because they're bereft of talent. When you look at the plethora of injuries they've had, Michael Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Marshawn Lynch, Eric Kendricks, okay, Deron Bland. You've had all of these.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily his fault, but he's not making it better.
Defensively, I'm sorry. But offensively, you're going to need your quarterback. What does
and I don't know if he can make it better.
With the 7 turnovers over the last 6 games. Let's encapsulate this, all right?
So he might last the season, but it'll be his last season.
His game from the start.
And not even because it's really his fault, just because, can you turn it around now?
That could have been interception.
I don't know if he can.
Fell incomplete, okay? Another time after that, you had the guy didn't turn around. Otherwise, it would have been a surefire interception. Dak Prescott, he was looking like trash from opening tip-off. Now, this is him bloviating going into the game, talking about what we needed to do in front of our hometown fans and all of this other stuff. There is nothing that he has done. I understand that he was second in the league for MVP votes last year and all of this stuff. But when it really, really counts, he has disappointed you time and time and time again. And by the way, I showed you this stat, Shay, weeks ago, and I'll tell you this, DL. You look at Dak Prescott. When his first 4 years in the league, he made $4.9 million. Okay, had a Pro Bowl appearance and all that playoff win, stuff like that. He's made over $157 million, not counting this latest contract, since that time. And the brother still, same results. Hasn't upgraded at all.
Hold on. Let me. I agree with that.
All right, we got to chill on.
Put this on McCarthy or Dak Prescott.
There's a bunch of niggas that are making a ridiculous amount of money that sucks, Stephen A. He not the only nigga I don't know why he's so focused on. Nigga, there's a lot of niggas that suck, that's overpaid. What about Jalen Hurts? What about fucking Jalen Hurts? They gave Jalen Hurts $250 million fucking dollars and he fucking sucks. He looks like he forgot how to play. He's actually regressed. At least Dak Prescott has been consistently this same guy. It's not like Jalen Hurts was damn near fucking MVP. Y'all was cocksucking the shit out of Jalen Hurts, and now he's fucking like the worst, damn near worse than Dak. Why are we not coming at him? He got the same 250. I don't know why he be hating on, and I hate to come to the defense of Dak.
Jerry Jones.
Because I don't even fuck with Dak. But there's a lot of niggas that are overpaid, Stephen A. Come on, stop.
Take this step back and be like, we got to start over. It would have been the difficult decision to sit there and go, maybe I don't want to pay Dak Prescott. Maybe I don't want to pay CeeDee Lamb. Maybe I want to rebuild our football team. He's content with mediocrity. They've been content with mediocrity for years now. They want to pat themselves.
They make more money than everybody off of mediocrity.
Israel, 12 years, 12 wins.
That's the reality of the situation.
It comes.
They don't have to be the best.
A really good football team, you can't. And then you decided to run it back.
That was a good angle for her. Good angle.
And I'll let Shannon chime in here, but I think you're looking at it a little bit wrong.
I don't want to talk about them anymore. I really don't. We got to move on.
To eat pointing fingers at the fans, especially after a win. And so here was Sirianni's explanation in his post-game press conference.
Looks like you were interacting.
No, just excited. Just excited to get the win. Just excited to get the win. Yeah. It's hard to win in this league, so we're excited to get the win. Our fans created a couple false starts that really helped us win.
Hard to win in this league. Weren't y'all niggas like 15-1 2 years ago? Don't y'all got the most overpowered roster in the league? Nigga, y'all got a better roster than the Lions. Hard to win in this league. Shut the fuck up.
We need you back, Nick. We need your energy. We need your
fans was letting that nigga have it. They said, Nick, you gonna be out of here soon. He said, what?
When I'm
I got it. Yeah, fuck you. The niggas get in his Philly bag. He was just talking Philly.
Make everything sound rosy. I'm okay with that. What I'm not here for is the fact that he lied to all of us and brought his kids so that he could do so. Bad look for Sirianni? What do you think, Tim?
Terrible look for Sirianni.
Yeah.
First of all, in relation to the game, shout out to A.J. Brown, worth every penny. Jalen Hurts.
That nigga spiraling.
I always knew and felt that the Eagles were, and Nick Sirianni would miss.
He brought his kid out there.
As a Hall of Fame.
Y'all gotta stop using kids as props to take away from the fall off and the backlash and the slander. Nigga gets slandered and prop a kid up there.
And express it in a way of understanding, like, when we're good, there's no.
I'm gonna do that when I have my biggest scandal.
Than that fan base. No one.
I'm just joking. I'm not gonna have no scandal, but imagine I did it. Prop my little daughter up there.
To act that way after the game when you squeak by Cleveland, who is in absolute tailspin.
Horrible.
By 4 points.
The Eagles are so
bad. You know what fan bases hate? Any fan base, but certainly Philadelphia.
Eagles fucking suck, and I'm loving it. 49ers suck, and I'm loving it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm loving it. Bye-bye-bye-bye. I'm loving it. He said, what, pussy? What?
Every day
Nick, you gotta chill the fuck out.
How that football team performs. Because they truly believe that they're part of the wins, and they're part of the losses. And for him to just walk that way and talk that way, and come across that I'm more important than you and we don't actually need you and you can talk to those fans that way, it's a complete unaware feeling and that you don't actually get it and you don't understand it, how those people want to be valued.
I want Shannon to go first. Go ahead.
Shannon, go ahead.
They might fire that nigga, Nick.
Well, I agree with everything you said, Dio, because the one thing is that you don't go back and forth with your fans because they're going to be the ones that ultimately decide your fate, unfortunately. Now, if he was in Cleveland and he did something like this and he's going at the Cleveland Browns fan, although he's the coach and that's not what I'm accustomed to or that's not what I would expect from a head coach in the National Football League,
it would have been more acceptable.
I get it.
Yeah.
But you're at home.
That's a good point.
And you're going back and forth with your fans?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't get down with that, Stephen A. He needs to understand. Bro, me, honestly, I hate to say he's misspeaking the truth, but I don't know if guys came up and said that we need you to go back and forth with the crowd because that gets us going. Really? Why would you want to go back and forth with your own crowd? They're the ones that support you. You just said they got a couple of extra false starts for you, and now you're jawing with them? Nah, I can't get down with that one, Stephen A.
In general, I don't disagree with y'all. In this particular instance, I do. And the reason I do disagree with y'all on this particular instance is because Sirianni has pretty much stunk as a coach over the last season, pretty much this last season. When you think about the last 6 games of the season, you lost about 5 of your last 6 games. You got stomped in the playoffs by Tampa Bay. You come into this season, y'all don't look much better. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown both go out. You remember you had lost both coordinators last year after getting to the Super Bowl the year before, and then everybody's looking at you, and you've been under a microscope. He's been taking a lot of heat. And even
that's why he did that.
If you're going to lie to the public.
That's why he went off on that van, because he's been taking a lot of heat.
I do agree with you there.
He feels the heat
the flip side
of almost losing that game.
Is that
he might have lost his job
knowing that
if he would have lost that game.
Being a former columnist,
that's probably what he was thinking.
Inquirer,
before he started arguing with that fan and before they won the game.
It does get to a point where it's like, wait a minute, now you got to show up. So whatever it takes.
They didn't even show the highlights for that shit on SportsCenter. I scanned all the way through the shit before I switched the first day. They didn't even show that shit. Didn't even show it.
They already had a whole bunch of question marks, and they're throwing stuff at you. If you think that gets the best out of you, then exhaust whatever means necessary to try to pull it off, because nothing else that you've done over the last year and a half has sufficed. And they're looking at him and they're calling in on them because they know their football. They know their franchise. They know what expectations are. They know what level of tradition comes along with it.
Oh, they were screaming, fire Nick Chance.
And go like, we need this, we need this, we need this. Well, if that's what you feel that the players are telling you and you think that's going to get you sparked up where you're going to elevate your level of play, meaning as a coach, then go ahead and do it because nothing else is working for you. And you're going to pay the price any damn way. So try anything. And to me, that's what he was doing yesterday. He's exhausted. He's pulling out all the stops to try to gravitate and ingratiate himself with that fan base because he believes he believes that that's the kind of stuff that they'll like. Yeah, talk smack to us. Now go on the field and back it up and get it done. He thinks that. I don't think he's right, but he thinks that, and that's my point.
Would you agree he's the most unlikable coach right now in the NFL?
I have to think about it.
I'm not trying to be harsh.
I'd have to think about it. He might be. He might be right.
I mean, you could go back maybe when Urban Meyer was coaching in Jacksonville, and that was for a whole different reason. Right now, Nick Sirianni is the most unlikable coach in the NFL. This doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. Not in that city with that fan base. Here's what I want to push back on.
Sure.
Real quick, Shannon.
Sure.
He waited till the game was over, though. He went. That was happening when after the A.J. Brown big throw down the field. The game was over.
It would have been egregious had he done it before the game was over.
But that's not.
Well, he had to wait until he won.
Energy football team when you squeak by a team that's 1-5 and you don't really perform at home again, and then you go do that. That's where I.
Shannon, go ahead. Go ahead. What were you saying, Shannon?
Stephen A. If he was an offensive defensive coordinator where he was calling the plays, if he was talking like this, Brian Billick used to talk leading up to the game when we played the Steelers, when we played the Titans, when we played X, Y, and Z. Now that's it. Okay, we expect that. You can't wait till we all of a sudden, as Dan said, we're squeaking by, and all of a sudden you talk about, what did you say? You got something to say? Man, get out of here with that.
No, again, I'm not trying to say that he was right. What I'm saying is, considering his lack of productivity,
I get what Stephen A. is
last year,
considering the situation he's in.
He was taking
right.
Him trying.
He's trying to act like the Philly fans.
Now, whether or not it'll work,
I get it. They booing him. They being rowdy with him. He's trying to be rowdy back.
All right, you gonna back it up?
I don't know if that's what you should do, though.
To apply that pressure to himself.
I think you're just supposed to stand there and
do what you
take
gotta
it.
Do as long as you give us the
and be
results
tough.
that you need. I'm saying to you,
that's what I think.
This they'll boot you out of here. They'll boot you out of here quicker if you ain't getting it done, and they don't have to fret around about it.
I haven't spoken with any Philadelphia fan in the last 16 hours that enjoyed that.
Okay.
And my wife is from there. She got a lot of friends and family from there. No one received that in a positive way.
But it's not about whether or not you received it in a positive way. It's about him saying, okay, now back it up. You can chirp and talk all you want to. What you gonna do? Because now you've given us no reason to give you any kind of pass. Go out there and get it done. And I think him putting himself under that kind of microscope, that might be where he's at his best. We'll find out.
Giant bullseye on his back now because
he did it on purpose. So now you got that. What you gonna do about it?
Come on, if they had lost that game, can you imagine what the team said if they had lost?
He wouldn't have said shit. He wouldn't have said a guy. Oh God, he wouldn't have did him. He wouldn't have did a motherfucking thing.
I don't know.
No, he wouldn't have did shit. I can guarantee you. I know campers. No, he wouldn't have did it. He wouldn't have did it.
What happened yesterday on the football field? The Titans took an L. That really wasn't surprising against the Colts, considering Tennessee is 1-4. But the explanation from Calvin Ridley is what raised some eyebrows. The Titans wideout was targeted 8 times, but came up with no catches. In fact, he only has 14 receiving yards over his last 3 games. And so, what is going on? Well, here's Ridley.
I had targets in what part of the game? Fourth quarter, a lot of them. All right, then. So I need some in the beginning of the game too. Like, getting crazy for me. So I'm just, it is what it is. But I suck today. I gotta be better. But I gotta get the ball a little early in the game so I can be in the game and here with the team so I can play well also. Did you expect to get targets early? I don't know. We just, we're trying to win the game.
Right, look, he's not wrong. He was only targeted 2 times in the first half. But nonetheless, Shannon, what do you think of the frustration from Ridley?
I understand his frustration. If you hear Tom Brady talk, he said he made a conscious effort to get his playmakers the ball early. Because if you get them early, you will have them late. But Calvin needs to understand, you got that money because you knew Will Levis or Malik Willis was going to be your quarterback. You left a situation with Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence is struggling, but I don't think anybody thinks that Will Levis or Malik Willis is better than Trevor Lawrence. And so you took the money. You must understand, D.O., I don't know how many times you've been in free agency, but in free agency, when you go somewhere, you better go to a place that's going to use you like you were where you just left. Because if you don't get used like that, we see guys all the time. They go from a 3-4, and all of a sudden they play a down, they play on a 4-3 defensive end. Or they're 4-3 defensive end, and the team that gets them, they ask them to stand up. You need to be used just like you were, where they fell in love and they gave you a boatload of money to come over there. I get his frustration. And people don't seem to understand that just catch the ball. Just imagine if you ask Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, or any great basketball player, we don't want you to shoot any shots in the first half, or we want you to shoot minimal shots, 1 to 2. But then fourth quarter, when we're down, we want you to catch 5. It doesn't work like that, guys. It really doesn't.
Ridley's dead on. I mean, he's dead accurate. His first catch came in the third quarter with 9:39 on the clock. They signed him to $92 million contract. That's I mean, he would get a touch in the first 5 snaps of the game if you're kind of making sure that you. Why'd you spend all that money? Now here's Shannon. Here's where I am, Stephen A. with this is. There's also the reality that in Tennessee right now, the best thing for their football team.
Calvin really got caught smoking all that weed.
That's the best thing for
Kicked him out the league for a year, came back, balled in Jacksonville, and got $92 million from a weak-ass Tennessee team.
Development, I mean,
shit,
the late interception.
I wouldn't even have complained.
$92 million.
I don't even give a fuck.
Just you're trying to win a game as well. And the best thing you could
run
do
it up, nigga.
Football right now.
Fuck
and
it.
That's where it's not a good situation. So I completely agree with Rid's comments. He had a couple drops of his own, there's no question. Completely agree with his comments. But they're not in an ideal situation offensively in Tennessee.
Well, it's a couple of things that we have to bring up. First of all, I know that Calvin really has some troubles, but he's back in the National Football League. Props to him. We know this brother can play. Mm-hmm. I completely agree with you and Shannon. He is not a scrub. Here's all you need to know. In 5 games, he has 9 catches.
$92 million now.
No. That's not his fault. We know on his worst day, he's better than that. The fact that he only has 9 receptions in 5 games is an indictment against the Tennessee Titans. That's not him. Because we know he's better than that. We know he's better than that. And Shannon, you're absolutely right.
He wouldn't have got the money if he wasn't better than that.
Where you go, where your locale is going to end up being, because in order to be a successful receiver, you got to have somebody to throw you the football, okay? And this dude Levis, I mean, listen, we know him for mayonnaise.
He did the same thing Devontae Adams did.
We know him for that, okay? And we know him because the first 2 games of the season, he made 2
He should have did it like Devontae Adams did. Don't complain. Take the money for 2-3 years and then force a trade.
Because he was so disgusted. And
get enough of that to where you're good and then get the fuck out of there.
Demoralization kicked in. You see this cat and those dumbass mistakes that he was making. You end up 0-2, losing your first 2 games, okay? And
because the Packers wouldn't have paid Devontae what the Raiders would have paid him, so I think that's good business. Because the Packers probably wouldn't have won either way. So let me go here, get more money from them, get the big contract, get half of it, and then somebody else got to pay the rest of it.
There you go, right? So you got that going on, right? And then now you've lost it. They should easily be winless on the season. He's been targeted 27 times in 5 games. He's got 9 receptions, and you're out there talking about how, you know what, he should be targeted earlier. You're damn right he should be. Well, why wouldn't you? You're not doing that because of he's bereft of skill. You're doing it because you don't have faith that the quarterback's going to be able to get it to him. Yeah. And when you have that as your reality, and everybody and their grandmama knows it, demoralization kicks in. Because, okay, we damn near one-dimensional because we can't trust the quarterback to get us the football. That's the issue in Tennessee.
Brian Callen.
Stephen A., let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Shane, let me ask Stephen A. question. Malik Willis and Will Levis is going to be your quarterback. You play a dependent position, and you're going to ask 2 guys that hadn't had a whole lot of experience in the NFL, how many catches you think you're going to get?
Hold on, Shannon. Shannon, let me answer that for you. I get you. You're right. You're not going to get many. But damn, let me repeat the number. 9 receptions in 5 games.
Yeah, that's shocking.
I mean, come on, Shannon. I mean, you bring up your bad. You bring up your bad hips and all, right?
Shannon's saying that's about what you. That's about
5 games right now. I mean, that's bad. That's really, really bad.
See, but here's the thing. You said the question. You say, Shay, let me ask you a question. 9 catches in 5 games? The answer, Will Levis.
Okay.
So you asked me a question. I just gave you the answer.
I'm saying you got the answer, but if you can't.
Right. What Shannon is saying is that's understandable if your quarterback is Will Levis.
No. There are certain things that you're going to
That's understandable.
Damn. I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
Look, Brian Callen comes over.
Dio, clearly he had been watching Will Levis play. Stephen A., you must be new to the Will Levis party. Because if you don't
right. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Let's move on.
Troy.
What up, though? If you know, you know.
Congratulations to 3 former colleagues here at ESPN. Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups, heard from, Doug Collins were among the 13 who were inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame yesterday.
Vince Carter better than all y'all niggas.
Jerry West, who made history by becoming the first 3-time inductee as he was recognized for his role as an executive. And so, Stephen A., I ask you, I'm sure you pay close attention to this.
That nigga Jerry West was powerful, man.
Everybody involved.
Why they give that nigga Jerry West so much power?
Clearly the leader of the Pistons that won the
What did he do? He must have did something for somebody, boy.
Should have won it against the Spurs in 7 games.
That nigga got to connect.
But he was absolutely phenomenal in terms of his leadership.
That nigga is the connect.
In that hall. Vince Carter is the greatest in-game dunker in history.
Oh, God.
Obviously, I'm a bit particular about certain things because I think about Kobe and others, and I'm like, damn, if Vince Carter had that killer instinct, then it would have been. But he was so phenomenal on so many levels and such a world-class individual as well. I was really happy for him. He deserved it. It was great seeing my man T-Mac, Tracy McGrady there, his cousin, being there to support him. And, of course, the great Jerry West. I mean, what do you say? As a player.
I saw that they let Spike Lee into the Hall of Fame too. They let a few fans in. They let Jack Nicholson, the nigga that's always at the Laker games, and they let Spike Lee in the Hall of Fame. I was like, damn, they let 2 fans in the Hall of Fame.
It's moments like that with the game.
Pretty lit, pretty lit.
Truly appreciate it. We're all grateful for everything that they've done for the game. And Doug Collins, let me not forget him, a great man, a very good person, excellent coach. Great basketball mind. He deserved it as well. And the game of basketball means so much to him. It was nice to see him recognized as well.
Him and his family, right? Yes. Meanwhile, we don't normally see a TV show in the Hall of Fame, but NBA Inside Stuff was the latest recipient of the Kirk Gowdy Transformative Media Award. The show hosts were all on hand, including Willow Bay, Ahmad Rashad, Grant Hill. Inside Stuff debuted in 1990. It aired for 25 years, merging the NBA and pop culture in a world before we had social media do that for us. And so Inside Stuff.
I never heard of that shit.
Fuck. They've been doing a great job for decades.
That's old head shit.
They've helped contribute to the globalization of the brand. In the end, we can talk.
They made you, head ass.
Or whatever. But we all have a responsibility to contribute to uplifting the sports that we cover.
They got Michael Jordan sober for once.
They do. It needs a great.
Hey.
So much more that goes into it. How the game is broadcast.
They got that nigga sober? I didn't know that nigga was ever sober.
Whatever.
Fuck.
So many people play a role in augmenting.
Every time I see that nigga, he look loaded. Boy, he look like he off that good shit, boy, the great shit, boy, the pure shit, boy, the live forever shit, boy. He got that live forever coat, boy. That he got that same shit, motherfucking Pablo got. That Juan Carlo, he got that same shit. What's that nigga name? Fuck, I'm high as hell. I can't remember.
Because it is Monday.
The nigga that's arrested.
One of the most anticipated matchups.
He got that shit,
nigga. This weekend because it featured 2 of the most electric quarterbacks in the NFL. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens held on to beat Jaden Daniels and the Commanders 30-23. Lamar, 20 for 26, 323 yards and a casual touchdown. Derrick Henry added 2 touchdowns of his own rushing. The 2-time MVP spoke on his offense, as we say. We're not going to get to the sound because we're already up against it. And so, Shannon, I go to you. Are the Ravens the most dangerous team in the NFL at this point?
Well, I think it's between them and the Lions. I would probably give the Ravens a slight lead since the Hutchinson is down, because he's the guy, he's the best player on defense, and he's the guy that could consistently generate pressure, attack your quarterback. He's very disruptive in the run game. But I would give a slight nod to the Ravens because the way Lamar is dealing the football and because they can run.
Man, if y'all don't stop calling me, I'm in the middle of making a video. Come on.
Football, and they've done something that I recommended they do after the first game. Put Derrick Henry's feet at 8 yards. His heels are at 8 yards, and either hand it to him or toss it to him. Let Ricard lead the way. Sometimes you say, Ricard, get the hell out of the way and let me go do what I need to do. But since they put him in that I formation, Stephen A., he's been over 100 yards ever since, with the exception of the Cincinnati game, and he had the big run to seal the game. He is the guy, because remember late in the ball game last year, they were losing ball games. Now they have a guy that I can say, look here, hey, D. Henry, I need you to make sure they don't get the ball back. I got you, coach. That's the difference in them this year than last year. But I would give a slight nod to the Ravens only because of Hutchinson going down. But those are the 2 best teams, in my estimation, based on the first 6 weeks of the season. Seeing what I've seen both offensively and defensively, those are the two best teams?
I have to go with the Detroit Lions to answer to this question. Because what I'm seeing from Lamar Jackson...
I don't think the Ravens are the most dangerous team. I'm not ready to say that yet.
It's phenomenal. But it still doesn't eclipse what we're seeing from the Detroit Lions. You don't have one, but two running backs.
Even though Mahomes is not playing amazing, I'm just not ready to.
Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs, okay?
It's like boxing. Like, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Like, until I see somebody beat them niggas, it's hard for me to not say they the best.
Exciting for Mark
Who the fuck is beat them? I know they don't look the best. Nobody's beat them. Nobody can beat them.
When you see Laporta and the way that he's been playing,
that's all I'm saying.
The way Jared Goff is just.
And they didn't play last night. When Mahomes played,
right?
They played tonight.
The only question mark as you look at the Detroit Lions is now that Hutchinson's going to be out. How are they going to make up for the loss of one of the elite defensive players in the National Football League? But when you look at the balance on both sides of the ball and what they bring to the table, and you couple that with the balance on their offense, I know that Zay Flowers and Bateman and those brothers can play. They're not scrubs. But they ain't what we seeing from the Detroit Lions.
I guess they had a bye week.
So I look at the Detroit Lions and the way that they're playing and how they're on the come up and how mission-minded they are with the personnel that they have in place and what they bring to the table.
They got the 49ers next week.
Look at Lamar Jackson and say, I'd rather have him than Jared Goff.
And then the Raiders and the Bucks and the Broncos. Those all sound like wins to me.
Weapons he has, you can't dismiss.
If they can somehow beat the 49ers, who are off their game right now,
oh, by the way,
Chiefs will probably be 7-0.
Sure. But they're not soft either. I mean, Dan Campbell have those brothers playing like Rough Riders. I'd have to give the edge to the Detroit Lions right now.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City is the best team in football still. No one's beating them.
Yeah.
When do you do your Stephen's A list?
I guess the next segment.
Wednesdays? No, for the top 5 teams.
It's usually on Tuesday.
All right, so Tuesdays. There's 5 teams that are clearly the best teams in football. Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, Houston, and Baltimore. Those are the 5 best. So I just gave you your list, Stephen. I did your own. The Detroit point with Hutch, they got to call.
Listening to it, but go ahead.
But that'll be the 5 teams, just so America knows. So they got to call the Raiders.
Just so America knows. Dad, you pussy. Nigga tried to steal his second. What the fuck?
Let me give you 2 names.
I'm dead.
Team-wise, Shannon A, Stephen A, Shay, that I think are dangerous that we're not talking about enough. Okay? 1, the Green Bay Packers. They're 4-2. Jordan Love looked really good. They're taking the ball away on defense. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games. Cincinnati Bengals. I'm banking that the Bengals are going to get to 11-6 and get into the playoffs. I'm banking that that's why last night's win was so important. Get to 2-4. I think they will get to 5-4 and go to Baltimore for Sunday Night Football in 3 weeks. The 5 best teams are the teams that we think 5 best records. Those are 2 teams that are dangerous because we're not talking about them enough, and we've kind of swept them under the rug, and they are both capable of getting as hot as anybody.
Who, Houston and Minnesota?
To knock off any of those 5 teams.
I would agree with all that. The Bengals just look so snoozy, though. In years past, they would throw in all these receivers. There was a different kind of pizzazz. They could stop someone on defense. They just seem to have.
I don't view them that way offensively, even though last night they weren't spectacular. I don't view them that way offensively. I just think that defenses put you in a hole when your defense is suspect and it has difficulty stopping the opposition. That pressurizes things for an offense, and it makes you a bit tight at times because you can't afford to make but so much mistakes where you don't have faith that your defense is going to stop.
Don't remember. Okay, so they lost to Baltimore on a missed field goal. They make the field goal in overtime.
They've been close. They got a good team.
They lose Kansas City on the pass interference. It's the right call. Here's my point. They're 2-4. They play Cleveland next week. I'm going to think that the Bengals beat.
The Browns always have their number, though. It doesn't matter how bad they are.
But the Browns are a reeling football team. Then they play Philly. Then they play the Raiders. Then that leads to Baltimore. I think they win their next 3 games. And then totally the trajectory of the season's completely different. They'll go to Baltimore.
I don't know if they can win
Sunday Night
Philly.
Football with the chance to beat Baltimore and get to 6. What'd you say? And I beat Baltimore.
I don't believe they'll beat Baltimore.
I believe anything's possible in the AFC North.
I mean, Shannon, they lost.
I believe anything's possible in the AFC North.
Yeah, I mean, they're.
Well, we put man on the moon, so anything is possible, Stephen A. We put man on the moon, so anything is possible. But what's likely?
Man didn't go on the moon.
You willing to put something down on it?
Well, let me ask you this. I might, because guess what? I mean, when you see how they've lost, I mean, they're going up against Baltimore. Anything's possible.
And if they get, and Shannon, you know this. They get hot and they get in. That's the most dangerous team because that's the team that anybody or everybody truly to their core thinks they could beat Kansas City.
That's true.
I tend to like.
And Joe Burrow is the person that everyone in the league
and that's what the Ravens
says is at that same level as Mahomes. Everyone says that. All of the players know Joe Burrow is a fucking dog. They all know that. They know he's a dog.
And they want to run the football.
That's what they all say.
Does a great job of running the football.
Anyways, my camera about to die and my food about to be here.
For throwing it so much. But when you look at the Lions and you look at the
a little short today
and the violence in which their offensive line and defensive line play at, and Derrick Henry is running the ball, Lamar Jackson was 20 of 26.
Yeah.
Now Mark Andrews has found his footing. They got Likely. They got the two best tight ends in football.
I would say the Ravens are up there, but I got the Chiefs
tight ends better than what they
above them. I don't know about the Lions. They just lost Hutchinson. I don't know. I think the Ravens could maybe beat the Lions.
He's coming. He's not big, but he's extremely explosive. He's extremely productive. The Ravens are not to be played with. Neither is Detroit.
Like, these are a lot of dangerous teams. It feels like the most dangerous is still Kansas City until proven otherwise.
I think that it's fair to say that at this particular moment in time, there's a lot of people that believe Baltimore can take Kansas City and should be able to. My thing is this.
Why do y'all think that?
If you don't take Kansas City now, if you're Baltimore, when will you?
Yeah. Sure. We said that last year.
When will you?
Yes.
When will you?
Yeah.
But I think it's more vulnerable this year than they were last year.
Yeah. True. True. All right, coming up, we go back to the
whatever
Cowboys
Shannon
because
said.
they made fans absolutely sick.
But yeah, my camera's about to die. We only got like 10 minutes left, and they about to talk about the Cowboys again. So that's it, y'all. A little short just because the highlights wasn't really highlighting today, but we see most of it. Anyways, that's going to do it 3 days in a row. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's time to get back in the mode. Time to get back activated. Time to get back lit. Time to get back all that. All that. So let's do it. Let's get it. Posting on YouTube tomorrow. We're going to keep the good times rolling. Till next time, it's been your boy. I love you.